Let's do this thing. Okay, I already f***ed up this video like 7 million times, but you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna roll it. This is my Q&A. I haven't done one of these videos in a year. It's been a year since the last one, but I'm gonna jump right into it. First question from Tina. What was the biggest life lesson eye-opener you learned while living out in LA without your mom or dad to do anything for you? I think the hardest part was doing adult things on my own. My mom helps me a lot with like setting up appointments, doing stuff like that. Like I became pretty independent when I was 16. Like I started working and making my own money and buying my own things. So I became like pretty responsible, but I think like taking big steps in adult stuff became pretty scary doing it on my own. My mom asked, what has been your favorite experience so far since signing with Gen.G and moving to the West Coast, and what has been your least favorite? I think my most favorite is living in a team house, living with my teammates, being on my own, being independent, being responsible for things. And then my least favorite is missing my mommy, missing my family, missing my siblings. I wasn't there for the last few moments of my dog's life. That was very hard for me. Yeah, I just feel like I'm missing out on a lot of things back home. Shay asks, why do you hate me? I don't hate you, Shay, so stop making up this toxicity. Bailey said, why do you bully me? I don't bully you. Okay, I do. But if I bully somebody, it's because they're on my good side. If you're being bullied by me, that means I have respect for you. How old were you when you started playing video games, and why did you start playing them? I was 9 when I really started getting heavily into it. My dad and my older brother were playing a game called Combat Arms on the computer. I was watching them play and I wanted to get into it, so I did. And I got really good, so I kept playing. A few years later, I eventually made my close, long-lasting friends that I'm still friends with today. And we pretty much grew up with each other online. I felt comfortable online. I felt like I could be myself. I had a lot of anxiety growing up, so I felt very safe and I felt like I connected with my friends that I made. How do you feel about being a woman in the comm scene? Do you deal with a lot of hate? Yes. 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 I deal with a lot of hate. But you know, there's obviously a lot of positivity, but I think us as human beings, we always look at the hate more than the positivity. I would like to hope and say that the positivity outweighs the negativity, but anytime someone makes a negative comment, it always overshadows the positive comments. It's just how human minds are. It's unfortunate that there's a lot of negativity that we get, but more positive in the last 2 years. Obviously, the bigger we get, the more negativity we're gonna see and receive, but there's also more positivity. But the way I feel about it, I am very happy that I get to be a role model. I get to be someone who's creating something that hasn't really been focused on and done in the last 10 years of esports. It's something new, and it will be different within the next 10 to 15 years. How did your career start? When did you find yourself a professional player of Gen.G? I would say my career really started when I started getting into streaming my junior year, which was 2016. When H1Z1 came out, I started streaming it. 2 years later, 2018 is when I got signed to Gen.G. What is it like living with Tina and Curly? I lived with Tina for a year in the apartment, and it was a blast. We had a great time. We had friends in LA that we frequently hung out with, and then moving into the team house with Carly was great. Like, we have a fun time. There's a lot of pranking, there's a lot of just fun. You know, we all fight. We have fought before. Like, we get into arguments. At the end of the day, we always come back and forgive each other, and it's like kind of like a sisterhood at that point. And now that Tina's back in Texas, it's been pretty lonely. It's been pretty quiet here, but it's all right. But for the last year and a half, it's been really good living with each other. Who was your favorite teammate in trios? Neither of you were my favorite. You were both my favorite. You guys are great. And what was it like playing with Rama for trios? And were you excited when you finished high school? Playing with Rama and Cheo for trios was great. You know, they both came in every single weekend during the trios FNCS to compete at the Gen.G office. And we were literally right next to each other every single time. So like, when we qualified for the grand finals, it was so surreal. Like, there was so much excitement and adrenaline that was just bouncing back and forth between each other, and everyone was just so happy that I probably wouldn't have felt the same if we weren't right next to each other. And I was extremely excited when I graduated from high school. It was a great moment. Ballers with this map or Launchpads with the older map? I would say Launchpads with the older map. I don't really like this map, but then again, like, same thing happened with H1. Like, H1 came out with a new map and everyone liked it, everyone was excited about it, and then all of a sudden we hated it. It's like the same, kind of the same vibe. When was the moment you realized that you could go pro in Fortnite? What do your IRL friends think of you streaming? I never really saw myself as a pro because that really wasn't an image that I grew up seeing. But I knew I could be good at it when I started getting better and started getting more focused and more, I put so many hours into getting better at it before I was even signed. Like, every time I would get destroyed, I was mad because I I never really accepted being bad at games. Like most of the games I've played, I like to be good at them. So I've always put into the time and effort into becoming better at something. And my IRL friends, I never really told anyone in high school or even middle school that I played video games. I don't know why, it was just like an insecurity. Because back then, no one really talked about games like they do now. But now they are 100% supportive. They understand a little bit. Some of them, they've tried to learn, especially my best friend Tiana has always been supportive. I always rant to her about some things, but yeah, they're always gonna be great friends. On a scale from 10 to 10, or 10 out of 10, why am I a 10? Babe, what? What are you talking about? Carrie asks, what was your first game that you took competitively, got ranked highly in? I've always been competitive in gaming. There really wasn't ranked systems until about H1Z1 when like there was like royalty and platinum and all that stuff. Overwatch, I got ranked diamond before I moved on to Fortnite, and then I went back to platinum, but I was very competitive in those games. Prior to that, in Combat Arms, so we were always clan warring. If we had a bad clan record, we would make a whole new clan just to have a new and fresh clan record that we felt good about. So me and my friends were always competitive growing up and playing games together. How bad do you think COVID-19 pandemic is going to get before it calms down? I don't know, I'm very confused about the whole thing. Like, it's very scary to think about because I feel like there really is no official answer. Like, you see some things on the internet and you see other things on the internet, and I feel like the only source of answers is the internet. So it's pretty scary. So I feel like I'm really confused on what's actually going on and why there's this huge lockdown for so long over this virus, which I understand why. It's just to keep it from spreading, but it's just really strange because it's never really happened, especially in my lifetime. But I'm hoping that it gets settled and solved quickly and soon, because I don't like seeing the world falling apart, especially right now. Pretty scary. Orange juice or apple juice? I'm more of an apple juice type of person, 100%. Can you sign my conch? I'm pretty sure you're the person that came up to me on DreamHack and asked me to sign a controller, but I didn't have a marker. But yes, I'll sign the controller. Am I going to win duo weapons? Yes. I actually may not be playing the rest of it, for right now, at least. If Fortnite have never existed, where would you be right now? I'd go back to college. I never really went, actually, so I can't really say go back. If you could live comfortably without working, what would you do with your day? I don't really consider my job working, which I feel like is a good thing. Like I don't want to wake up every day and be like dread doing what I'm doing. And I feel like that's like working. But like I feel like, yes, I'm working, but like at the same time, like I'm enjoying what I'm doing, so I don't look at it as work. If I wasn't doing what I'm doing right now, I don't know, because I feel like I don't really know another life without video games. Vibe every day, travel, play some soccer. And if video games aren't an option, then I don't know. How or have relationships between your IRLs changed since you grew a platform and devoted your time to gaming? I would say most of my relationships have changed with my other friends, like the people that I grew up playing with. Our relationship has definitely changed. I think I needed time away from each other. We kind of drifted a little bit, and that was completely my own fault because I focused on something completely outside of them. But we are obviously reconnecting. My IRLs, I kind of drifted away from them after graduation. I didn't feel the connection. I went to a really small school, so I was kind of stuck with a lot of people growing up. Are you a girl or a girl? I consider myself both. How did you and Tina meet? We went through H1Z1. She was streaming one night. I was playing duos offline with my friend Erin, and we killed her and Kayla in a pub match. And I went to her stream to go talk shit, and we eventually became friends. Here's your verified and bring back Tilted Towers. I got you. When did people recognize you? I would say people started recognizing me through streaming and Twitter. I feel like most of my content goes through Twitter. Can I give you a skin? Maybe. What is your biggest goal right now? My biggest goal right now is to really focus on myself, my brand, my social media, my personality. Yeah, I just really want to grow. Here's my question. Good, it's fantastic. What do you think of the Battle Royale genre for esports? VR is so strange. Battle Royale is obviously a lot of RNG, whereas like games like Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, Overwatch, they're all the same thing. They're repetitive, so there becomes like a skill to it. There's obviously skill to Battle Royale, but like a lot of things in BRs are luck, luck based. But like people who are skilled and talented can make the best out of their RNG, which just makes the esports so hard to work around. What did your parents think when you wanted to be a professional gamer? They were a little worried because I had to move to LA all the way across the country, and they didn't really know if any of this was legit. They didn't know what Gen.G was. I didn't even know what Gen.G was. I did a lot of research before even going with them because they were coming from Korea and they were moving to the US. So me and Tina were their first US players. But anyway, obviously support me like crazy today, but they had to learn. They had to figure out what the hell esports is and like how big it's going to be and how big it's become ever since I even got signed. But they're extremely supportive. Tina, I am doing a video. God damn, you part of the video. Say hello.
I thought you were playing Sims.
No, I'm recording my Q&A. I'm almost done. Rude! Forgot I was in Discord. Do you think Fortnite is future-proof? What would your career be other than gaming? Competitive Fortnite right now is a little bit of a mess. I'm a little worried about it, but we'll figure it out hopefully. In my career, if it wasn't gaming, I would actually be in criminal justice. That's originally what I was going to go to college for. I don't know what 7.194 means, but okay. Thank you guys for watching. Those are all the questions I have or I've received. Those were really good. Those are really good questions. I've done a lot of interviews where those questions haven't even been brought up or gone too far into detail about. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. So if you really do enjoy it and you want me to do another one or something else, I need content ideas, what you guys want to see, hear from me, tell me story time or something, I don't know. Just let me know in the comments. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. I just hit 3K on YouTube, so thank you guys. So welcome from TikTok over to my YouTube. I will be more active on Twitter, more Twitch streams coming soon. Yeah, thank you guys. Make sure you use creator code maddiesuun in the item shop. Peace.